Hello YouTubers. I've noticed a few videos with people that have an Addi knitting machine grinds and it skips and it makes a weird sound, and their handle is quite loose. So my husband and I figured out a way to fix that, and we fixed it on this one. So mine doesn't do that anymore. This part is not loose. You see how solid it is? It does not wobble too much, and it no longer skips and makes that grinding sound. It knits really well even when I have tight tension. It turns and it's like nice, and this part here is durable. It's sturdy now, whereas before it was very wobbly. And we did two things to fix that. I'm going to show you what we did. So I'm going to take the entire thing apart, the whole thing apart. I'm going to show you how to do that. And a good thing to do when I'm taking the screws out is to have a container for each set of screws, and then I stack them in order. So the first set will go in here, and then when I get to the next set of screws, I'll put another cup inside. That way, when I put it back together, I just work my way down the cup. So this is the part where we adjusted and added pieces to them. add shims to them. We added a shim here and right here because there was just too much wiggle in here, and the grinding we were hearing was here is. So this is the ring gear that rides over top of that. This is actually upside down. It should be this way. And what's happening when you're finding it, when you hear the skipping sound, because this, before we fixed it here, it had too much play. Do you see how wiggly it is? That's because I took the screw out there. So that's how wiggly it was before, super wiggly. So what happens is when I was trying to knit, because there was too much play in there, do you see how, right there, see how I can easily slide out of the grooves there? Because it was just too wiggly before, too much movement. So it had room to move out of this groove here, or the gears. See how it's sliding there? Because this piece was, it's just way too loose. So we had to add a shim here over top of this space right here, and then inside here, right behind this piece, the handle that rolls. And that's what I'm going to show you next. How we tighten this part up so that this was nice and snug, the gear, when it's turning this piece right here. So right here, I'm going to take this piece off the gear to show you the first shim that we made. Well, my husband made that one. So I'm taking the screws out. And you'll notice all of the screws, I put them, each set of screws in containers, and I just stack them in order. Just so that I don't get confused and mix them up. There, now right here, actually I'm going to take the screw off of here as well, off of the handle. Oops, oh, there we go, I took everything off. Okay, there, take that off. Now this piece right here, so my husband used a can, just a soda can, aluminum, and cut a piece out like this and made it fit right over top, nice and snug, right over top. Not too snug that this part cannot turn. We don't want it too snug where it doesn't turn, but just enough so that this in here does not wobble. Before we put the shim in there, this part right here, when we put the screws back in here, as tight as it can go, this, do you see how loose this is? It's just too loose. That's not good. So what we did, or what my husband did, was he built this little thing out of aluminum. Placed it right there. Of course, make a little hole to where the screws are going to go. And of course, we had to play around with it to make sure everything matched up nicely. So I'm just going to match up that hole there where the screw goes, right there. It's easier if you just screw this screw all the way back in so you can match it up to that hole there. It's just the best way to do it. It's the easiest way. There we go. I'm going to start it. And then I'm going to do the same to the other side. There. So all that white stuff you see on there is white moly grease that we put on there. We had done that before. And this was when we had initially done this, so I'm not going to show you that part. I'm just showing you this part right here. Okay, so I'm going to put this right back in there. I'm going to tighten this up. Nice and snug. See, this still turns. Now look at that. No longer wobbles. It's sturdy. And there's enough give in there and room in there for the gear to still turn without wobbling. I'm always scared I'm going to overturn these screws. Okay, that's done. Now this part right here, the handle, we made 2 shims here as well. And we made it out of a lid, a takeout container lid. We just measured, drew a circle, cut it out, cut 2 pieces out. We found one was not enough, we needed 2. And we cut it enough so that it lines up with this part right here. Exact diameter, the same diameter as this. So just measure this. I don't remember what it was we measured. Because without this, when you put this on, look at how wobbly it is. And it does not feel good. I don't like how that feels. And how this works is, you also have to cut a little groove in here so that it fits over top of these little notches right there. So the first one goes in there, and then the second one, and then this goes over top. These ones also have notches in there, so the notches will fit over that notch right there. And then put the screw back in there. Nice, no more wobble. See this? It's only doing that because I'm forcing it, but there's no big wobbling like it was before we attached those 2 shims in there. Okay, so now I'm going to put it all back together. There, no more wobble. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.